appreciate your support.
I just love you, man, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm not going to be a stranger.
Welcome to the Shelley Winter Show, the home for the politically homeless.
Listen to his show. Absolutely, 95.5.
Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. Why can't we live?
Shelley Winter Show, ladies and gentlemen, live, local, topical, and relevant. We've got a hot one for you tonight. Boy, oh boy, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's get right to it from the start. So, when I was younger, I don't know about anybody listening to me now. I am mostly talking to guys right now because I don't think women participate in this kind of behavior growing up, right? But we did, right? And the behavior that I'm talking about, I talked a little bit about it last night, but the behavior that I'm talking about is we played the dozens, or snapping, or ribbing, or jonesing, making fun of. We played that growing up. And we're in my particular neighborhood, again, I don't know about where you're from or how you came up, right? But I can only speak from my experience, right? Whether it was in high school, a private school, a great private school called Riverdale Country School, whether it was in the neighborhood, no matter whether it was in sports, whenever it was. I grew up at a time where making fun of people or saying things to people, making fun of them, there was nothing off limits, okay? And if you engaged in this, you had to play by the rules. And the rules were simple. If you're going to engage, if you're going to snap or play the dozens or jones on someone, if you're going to do that, you have to expect it to come back to you. In other words, if you stepped out of the house and you said, hey, look at Johnny's high waters, that's where your pants are higher. Now everyone wears high waters, but back then it was a joke. It was making fun of someone because the pants, the implication were you're too poor to have your size pants, so you wore high waters. And you would say things like, hey, your socks said to introduce your pants to your shoes, something silly and stupid like that. But we'd make fun of each other. If you were overweight, there were fat jokes. If you didn't get good grades, there were dumb jokes. If you couldn't play sports, there were unathletic, non-athletic jokes. Whatever it was, anything was on. Nothing was off limits. Nothing was off limits. You brought a girlfriend around, and she was not really up to snuff. Even if she was the finest woman in the world, you were going to get teased. And if she wasn't the best-looking woman, oh, man, you're going to get teased for days on end. Everything. Mother jokes, family jokes, everything. Nothing was off limits. Now, if you chose to participate, that meant that you also had to take it like a man as well. Now, if you were one, and there were some who grew up in my neighborhood, say, hey, man, I don't play that game, don't say nothing to me. Everyone left them alone. They chose not to play, so they were left alone. Every now and then someone would say something, but no one would really go after them because they chose not to play. I bring all this up because yesterday we played for you the clip of Senator Ossoff talking about Donald Trump and Natalie Harp. Let me replay that part of his speech. This is the part where he says it.
See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
That was what he said. And the entirety of the right has now lashed out at John Ossoff, Senator Ossoff. Stephen Chung went on Twitter and called him John Jackoff and a cuck. Brandon Gill highlighted, said it was mean-spirited. Scott Jennings on CNN said he's a coward. Scott Jennings on CNN called him a coward, calling Ossoff a coward. Said it was a gratuitous, many commentators called it a gratuitous shot and a smear against the hardworking woman intended to manufacture an elite, scandalous narrative where none exist. And so I saw Ben Shapiro say something. I've seen others say something. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. You guys engaged in jonesing. The entirety of MAGA engages in jonesing. As a matter of fact, I was at the rallies where we engaged with the president in jonesing our political opponents. I laughed at the jokes. For years, I laughed at the Hillary Kenkel jokes. I laughed at Obama might be undercover. I laughed at these jokes. For years. No one said a thing. No one batted an eye. I laughed when, well, maybe not laughed. I always kind of cringy because I thought it was kind of cringy. But I never participated myself. But I've heard many make jokes about Stacey Abrams' weight. Do you remember that? You remember the jokes? How do you get down? How do you get around 285? Yada, yada, yada. You laughed at those jokes. You called Kamala Harris out of her name, saying she slept her way to the top, disregarding the fact that the woman got elected statewide as a U.S. senator. You did this. For years, you did this. And now all of a sudden you're bent out of shape because a sitting senator says a lady who has no foreign relations experience, no economic policy experience, no domestic policy experience, none whatsoever. She's just there. And you have the nerve to say, oh, I can't believe he said that. Really? This is where we are? This is where we are? In November 2015, I remember when Donald Trump did like this, and I'm doing the shaking of someone disabled. And then tried to say, oh, I didn't know that was him. You laughed at that. Now you're outraged? And then you have the unmitigated gall to say, well, she survived the breast cancer, bone cancer. So she's off limits. Really? Really? What have we become? This is why I'm politically homeless. Because I'm looking at a group of people who were so brave to say whatever they wanted to say to anybody, no matter the circumstances. No matter the circumstances. You were comfortable with politicians saying it. You voted for politicians when they said it. You cheered when people said it publicly about other people. And now all of a sudden you're outraged? Really? When they got on the secret plane, the President of the United States left on the decoy plane the Secretary of State, the Treasury Secretary, his Deputy Chief of Staff, his White House Communications Director, and the entirety of the travel and press pool. Guess who went on the secret plane? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Deputy Chief of Staff Scavino, and Natalie Harp, White House aide. What would be her reasoning to be on the decoy plane? What expertise does she have to be on the secret plane? I'm not alleging anything between them at all. That would be bad. That'd be in poor taste for me to do. But don't act like it's not fodder in a political election midterm season. It's not fodder to go after. Don't act like it's off limits to say something. Don't sit here and look me in the face and tell me, but Shelley, that's mean-spirited. She's a hard-working woman. Are you serious right now, MAGA? Are you serious, Ben Shapiro? Are you serious, Brandon Gill, Stephen Chung, all of you? Are you serious? Regular people on social media? Shelley, that's out of line. Really? Out of line went out the window in 2015. Okay? I supported it. You supported it. which is why I don't sit back here on my high horse and say, I can't believe the senator said that. We've become a bunch of just soft, weak, old boomers, even the 30-year-olds. Just a bunch of people who forgot what you laughed at and who you laughed at just 6 months ago. Hell, just 2 days ago. Now all of a sudden, you're outraged? Give me a break, man. This is why it's not the president and his policies that's pushing me away. It's the people who are so obviously hypocritical that's pushing me away. And now I'm not only going after the Republicans, the Democrats are as well. But it's my side that I see more often than not becoming these whiny victims on everything. After spending years saying, stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim card. Yeah, liberal tears. Now it's just Republican boomer tears every single day on every single issue. It's just an outrage machine all the time. And it's sickening. Because we were the side that stood on some kind of principle. Now, we have none. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. I've watched Republicans make fun of Democrat women for the last 15 years and laugh at every single joke. Now all of a sudden an incumbent senator says something that is true. It is a fact. It's proven here because she went on the plane. Secretary of State didn't. Treasury Secretary didn't. Traveling press pool didn't. But she did. Oh, 404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB-TALK. I'm not alleging anything, and I'm not accusing the man of anything because I don't think he's got anything going on. He's an old guy. But I do know I just got rebaptized. I will drop this nugget. There is somewhere in the Bible it says, you first cheat with your eyes. Wink, wink. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. 404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB-TALK.